I made a new acquisition, and this little device I think is going to be very, very useful. Good morning, everybody. It's Stephen here for Bland Designs and the Idiot Quilter as I get myself adjusted and in place. And welcome to my weekly vlog number 409 for June the 2nd, 2025. And yes, we are home. We are back. I'm sure you know that by now. We've been home since this past Tuesday. And yeah, it's getting a little better getting into the routine of things. You know, that takes a bit of time after you've been on vacation. But we're back. We're up. We're running. And let's get on to what I've been working on. Now, of course, because we were away and just got back, I haven't got a lot done, but one thing on my agenda, I left this unfinished, this project, and I have now at least finished the top of it. It is backed, and the backing and the backing and the batting are attached to it. So my plan this morning is to get the binding on it. I have the binding made, and tomorrow on the Idiot Quilter, I'll show you the completed project, hopefully. But that's all I'm going to say about it for now, but I'll talk a little bit more about it and about what's coming up on So Chatty this week that has to do with this as well. Okay, so there's that, and one other little thing which kind of took me down a rabbit's path on Saturday. We did see Vermeer's famous The Girl with the Pearl Earring painting when we were in Holland, because that's where it is located. He is a Dutch painter, was a Dutch painter, is a Dutch painter. I don't know. It depends on whether or not you think he's gone to another dimension or not. But anyways, so I wondered if I could find an embroidery file for my embroidery machine where I could do this. Well, I didn't find one, but I was still able to sort of do it, and I will talk about that in more detail on Idiot Quilter come tomorrow. Okay, I think that's all I've got to show you there. So, YouTube channel of the week. When we were in the Netherlands, and of course when we had the TV on, we didn't realize it, but we also happened to be there at the time when a big song contest, a European song contest that happens every year, called Eurovision, was in its finals. Now, we watch this every year, usually broadcast on YouTube, because, you know, we don't get any of the channels here in Canada that they have in Europe. And we love it. We absolutely love it. It's a wonderful event. It brings out, I don't know how many different countries. I think their final countries that made it to the finals were about 23. It is a long production. It's about 4 hours long. And you can find it on YouTube now as well. But the staging, the way they put it all together, and I've been watching some videos behind the scenes as well, because their sets for each performer are incredible. And it's incredible what they do with, you know, electronics, computer-generated images and things like that as well. But anyways, I thought I would direct you today, if you're interested in this kind of thing, to the Eurovision Song Contest YouTube channel. This week's YouTube channel is one all about music, and actually it's about a very large music contest that is held everywhere in Europe. And because we happen to be in Amsterdam during this event, we were able to watch it in real time on YouTube, and we did. Usually we watch it after the fact on YouTube, but they did broadcast it live on YouTube as well. And I'm talking about the Eurovision Sound Contest. Now, if you're from outside of Europe, you may or may not have ever heard of this. It's been going on for over 70 years, and it showcases the best of each country that's entered into this competitions musical artists and groups. And I love their stage production. It's just over the top, and the music is always great as well. So we watch this, and it's a long production. It runs, well, the final, they do it in different stages, but the finale for all of this runs for about 4 hours. So sit back, have some popcorn ready to watch this if you're going to watch it all in one gulp. But you can also watch individual performances as well on their official Eurovision Song Contest YouTube channel. So if you like to hear music that you may not be used to hearing all the time, or you want to see what's trending around the world, then you're going to want to check out Eurovision Song Contest. So you'll find a link for that in the show notes below. You'll also find a link for lots of things, and just a reminder, because we have been away for a bit, what you will find there. You will find a link that will take you to my email address if you need to get a hold of me. You will find a link for this week's coming Sewing with Sewing with Stephen, and that link never changes. So, you might want to copy it down and put it someplace, on your computer or wherever that it's very readily accessible. So you don't have to go to one of my videos all the time and find the link there. But anyways, that's there. All are welcome. We do this every Wednesday. We start at 9 a.m. in the morning Eastern time and finish about 4 p.m. in the afternoon Eastern time. So, and you don't have to be there all day. Come and go as you please. You will find links for my 4 patterns that I have created. They are on my Google Drive. You just click on the link and download it. It's a PDF file. And there's a tutorial for one of them that's on YouTube too. Okay. And they're absolutely free. I don't charge anything for these patterns. You'll find links to my friends' channels, and you'll find other links too. You'll find a link to the S&W in the Netherlands playlist if you missed any of those videos while we were away, or you didn't watch any of them at all because you were bored stiff. Whatever. There's a link there to all of those, and you will also find links to 2 videos that we did last week, one for So Chatty and Stephen and Walter Live. Yeah. Okay, lots there. So let's take a look at what things are looking like outside this morning. And the weather has been cool, very cool lately. In fact, as I'm recording this, it says it's 8 degrees C, but it says it feels like 5 degrees C. And I'll shortly find out when I go for my morning walk what that is like out there. But this is June the 2nd. Even here in Canada, we don't expect it to be that frosty at this point in the year. You can see, though, it looks like it's going to be a nice day. According to the forecast, it is supposed to be sunny today, and it's supposed to go to a high of 21. So we're starting out a bit cool, but should move up to warmth, and that'll be nice. And tomorrow's going to be sunny and 23. And Wednesday's going to be sunny and 26. So yes, summer. Although this is still technically spring. Summer weather. On Thursday, it drops a little to 21, but still nice, and but with the chance of rain, 75%, Friday rain, Saturday. Now they're saying Saturday's going to rain. I hope not, for a very good reason. Well, I might as well talk about it now. On Saturday, we are off to a friend of mine, Rhonda's Quilting Creations. She has her annual sale. It is outside in front of her house, and originally it was scheduled for May when we were away, so we wouldn't have been able to make it this year. But, and let me just take this off the screen, but I guess while we were in the Netherlands, everybody had a lot of rain over here on this side of the pond. We were lucky. We only had a couple of days where it rained, and that didn't stop us. But anyway, she decided to postpone it because it is outside and put it to this weekend. So I'm really hoping for her sake that it doesn't rain, that forecast changes. It does say it's a 55% chance. Better than half there. But anyways, hopefully it won't rain. And I'm looking forward to the sale because prices are very, very good. And it draws a lot of people, and I've already contacted Rhonda and asked her if it would be okay if I did some videoing for YouTube, and she said no problem. And I'm making up, and I'll show you what those are in a minute, some little things for her to give away, because she was so generous with prizes for my last retreat that this is just my way of, giving back to her as well. So hopefully it will be a nice day. But that's what's coming up this Saturday. And how did I get onto that? Oh yeah, I was talking about the weather. So anyways, weather is weather. You can't change the weather. We wish we could. Okay, so what is pissing me off this week, though, besides the weather? Well, it's not really being pissed off, but it's getting, like I said earlier, I still feel a little discombobulated. I think that's a word. Yeah. Trying to get back into my routines, trying to schedule things. At some moments, I feel a little overwhelmed with the things that I want to do. This is the key here. Okay? We get ourselves into a tizzy all the time. We have things piling up on us. We have things we got to get done. Do we? Do we have to? Yes, there are certain things that have to be done. They are time sensitive. But as a retired person, which I am, I put my own deadlines on myself for most things. And, well, I'll give you an example. This morning, I get up around 5:30 most mornings. I wake up at about 4, and I refuse to get out of bed. I'm thinking I start that trend out, I might as well not be going to bed at all. When I go to bed at night, I go to bed usually around 9:30ish, read for half an hour, and I go right to sleep. But then I wake up at 4 in the morning, so technically I'm only getting 6 hours of sleep. Well, I sort of drift in and out of sleep for the next hour and a half. And then I lay there, and this morning I'm looking at my clock, 5 o'clock. No, I'm not getting out of bed yet. That's too early. But my brain starts working, and you know what that's like. You lay there, your brain starts going through everything you want to do, that you need to do, planning your day out, planning your week out, and you lay there. Well, you're not getting any sleep anyways. So for me, I just tumble out of bed and get the day going. But what's going through my brain at that point in time is all the stuff I have to do. And it becomes overwhelming. Will I get this done? I got to do this at this time. My routine now includes this early morning walk. I just looked up at my clock right now to see, okay, don't go on too long here because you got to get out there for your walk. These are self-imposed deadlines and tasks. I am a retired person. I have all the time in the world. It's a very flexible time. Why do I put myself through this? Well, just got back from a trip. You're supposed to feel refreshed after you come home from vacation. I don't. No, we did a lot. It was a great trip. I would have to say it's probably one of our best trips ever. And maybe that's the problem. We had too good a time. We didn't want to come home. We actually didn't want to come home. And that doesn't always happen when we're on a trip. Usually by the end of the trip, we're ready to come home. I could have spent another week if I'd had the funds. That's the only problem with that, right? Jet lag. You might say, well, you're suffering the effects of jet lag. Well, it wasn't that long a flight. 7 hours. Like we've been on longer. Try 22 with Australia, So a 7-hour flight is like nothing. But there could be some residual effects from that. Okay, but we got back last Tuesday. It's almost been a week. That should be over. I think what it is I put too much pressure on myself, and that comes from my days as being a school teacher. And even though I have now been retired at the end of this month, 13 years, hard to believe. Where's the time gone? I still have teacher mode scheduling inside of me, and that adds to my anxiety. I need a vacation right now. Yeah. But I have things, yes, I'm going to say it, that I want to do. Not that I must do, I want to do. I have 3 quilts that need to be quilted. I have another quilt project I want to get started on. And I'm got 3D printing projects that I want to do and look into. So much. I guess the way you put it is I'm never bored. I am never bored, that's true. But there's a danger. The danger is you just shut down. And I do not want to do that. I do not want to be one of those old retired people in their golden years who rot in front of a television all day long. Because you've heard me say this before, the only outcome of that is death. And I'm not ready to go yet. So anyways, I'm not pissed off with this. I am just a little frustrated, but I'm going to get a grip, start prioritizing. You know, I'm a list maker, so I'll make a list. Of course, that puts pressure on myself too, doesn't it? To a certain extent. And, you know, maybe the philosophy should be this. What gets done when it gets done. Period. Okay, so speaking of things I'm doing, what about the grow lights? How did they survive our 2 weeks away? Well, they did pretty well. Walter seeded some of the grow lights again because the stuff that was in them was done. It was time for a new crop, and the new crop's coming along. This is lettuce, I believe that's what he's got in here. And see, it's coming up in this one a little bit better as well. So things are growing again. And our peppers, there they are. We have more peppers. I think, though, he's going to take, if the weather ever warms up, when we start working on the deck garden, the container garden, I think he's going to take some of these and put them outside and see how they do as well. And maybe start a brand new crop of these, because these plants, they're doing okay, but I don't know how long they will survive for, how many times you're going to get peppers off of one plant. We've done very well with these, though I am noticing that some of the peppers that are coming up aren't getting much bigger. If you look at some of those little red ones back there, I don't know if they're going to get much bigger. So it's probably time to start a new crop of those. But as I said, the weather needs to warm up a little bit so we can get that together. So the season's going to be a little late this year, I think. Maybe. We'll see. I don't know. I really don't know that much about gardening, and I'm sure you can tell. Okay, so what's that take me to? New products. Well, yes, I did buy something new. Now, I had developed before we went away, and for several weeks before we went away, this cough. Usually in the morning and usually happens down here. And at first I thought, well, I was getting a cold or something like that. But no, didn't have any other symptoms of a cold or COVID or anything like that. It was just this cough, like kind of a thing. And I started doing some reading about 3D printing and the filaments. And yes, even the filament that I use, which is a very simple one and it's probably the least toxic, don't like to use that word about it, from some of the other filaments. Nevertheless, there is particulate that goes in the air, little microscopic little pieces, and they get lodged into your lungs, or can. And over a long time of exposure, you can have some health issues with this. This was worrying me, so I did some more research, and it's still kind of like you read this, you read that, you don't know what's true, right? But one common factor was a lot of people who are into 3D printing and have multiple machines like I do have an air purifier, and they swear by it. So I bought this one. This one had good reviews, and well, I think it's working. I'm not coughing like I was before. There's an indicator on the front of this that tells you, what the air quality is, and that has something to do with little microscopic particles per 1 million or something, whatever. I don't know how you read it. But if it's in green and it's a number lower than 12, I think it's 12, you're in good shape. I took this picture when I first got it. I've had it not quite a week yet, so I may be premature in my findings. But right now, it's reading 2. That's good. Now, I don't have anything going on here, down here at the moment, but yesterday, most of the weekend, I was running all 5 printers. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 5. All 5 printers steadily. And that number never went beyond 4. So I think it is working very well. Also, it's not just the printers, but this is my sewing room, and fabric and thread make dust, a lot of dust. And you're breathing that in too. So it also is taking that out. What'll be the real kicker is after I've had this for maybe about a month, I will open it up and check my filters that are inside it and see how much crap is in the filters. That will tell me a story as well. But right now, I'm impressed. I didn't really go in with this I figured, okay, this is just going to be a waste of money because these suckers aren't cheap, but it wasn't bad. On Amazon, I think it was on sale for $113 Canadian. And I also bought some replacement filters, which were about $55 for a package of 4, and this thing takes 2 filters in that. And I don't know how often you have to change them, but there's an indicator on it at the bottom that shows you the life of your filter. And right now, of course, all the lights are lit up, which means everything's good. But I also think you can kind of vacuum them as well. I know one guy on a YouTube video that was reviewing this says he just takes a brush kind of and brushes them off outside or something like that. So, and he's been running his for about a year without replacing a filter. So yeah, so far I am impressed by this, and I'm hoping that it's not just psychological. I hope that it's a real thing, that it's working. Might as well give it a go. It can't hurt. Okay, so that was one thing that I bought. The other thing that I bought, and later today I have to phone Apple about this, my silicone case that I bought from Apple when I got my new iPhone back in September, it was splitting. Yeah, you don't expect silicone to split. It's one reason why I paid the big bucks for it, because I mean, they're not cheap. On Amazon, they're like 70, or not Amazon, on Apple site, they're about $70. They're official, you know. So I went online. I was trying to figure out when it was that I bought that case. Well, I bought it at the same time as I bought the phone. I knew that, but I was looking for my order number and I couldn't find it. Well, long story short, I did find it eventually. I contacted Apple yesterday through their chat service, and they told me who to contact about that problem, because what I want to know is, can I get reimbursed for it, because it's still under warranty. It has a 1-year warranty on it. And I saw that other people online have had a similar problem. I'm not the only one. So you know me, if something doesn't live up to my expectations according to what the manufacturers say, I do contact them. And I've had very good luck with that. So I had a phone for this particular service. I phoned them yesterday, but they're not open on Sundays, their service. And they open, I think, about 8 or 9 o'clock Pacific time. So that means it's be around lunchtime when I'll call them today, and I'll see what I get. Now, I have had excellent service from Apple in the past, so we'll see what this is. In the meantime, I already ordered and have received a brand new case. I got the same one again. Yeah, sucker for pain. But we'll see. We'll see what happens with that. I'll keep you posted. Okay, so what else do I want to show you here or talk about? Oh, yeah. Now we're moving into, can I print that effing thing? Well, yes, I can. And what did I print? Well, first of all, I bought more filament. This was in my plan. I knew I would do that when I got back home. Yeah, I bought 18 spools of filament to the tune of a little over $500. I have a good supply, though. I can tell you that. Yeah, I'm a bit fanatic with filament. But I have lots of projects I want to print. I need filament for them, so I got that. So that was great. I am trying to think of things to print that go beyond printing, well, what most people would call toys or trinkets. But there's a lot of that out there. Um, I need to learn how to design my own products. And that's a huge learning curve for the software and stuff that you use for that. But maybe I'm going to have to do that because although there are a lot of really great things out there, I want to be able to customize a little bit more. And yeah, so I may have to educate myself on how to do this. We'll see how that goes. Um, but in the meantime, I'm looking for things to print that are practical. And I did print a couple of things. This. Now, this is meant to be a replacement flatware rack for your dishwasher. It printed out beautifully. It assembled beautifully. And yes, it would fit in my dishwasher. I don't need another flatware rack for my dishwasher. But what I was thinking of, this would also make a great tool holder for your sewing tools or pen holders or little bits and pieces, some tools, things like that. Right now it's sitting out in the Lucy room where I put most things that I'm not immediately using. I'm thinking this would be great for your plastic flatware when you're, in the summertime, if you're having a barbecue, that kind of thing. That would be great for that. I basically printed it to see if I could, and I did, and it worked. So that's what I'm up against right now is basically the prints that I print are ones that I think are cute and are a challenge to see if I can actually print them. And I'm telling you, that new printer, my Bamboo X1 Carbon, it printed this. It does a beautiful job. But my KEs, my Creality KEs, knock wood, are working really fine right now too. I do want to get another X1 Carbon, but that's down the road. That's going to have to wait for a bit. So we'll see. But anyways, I printed that. And I mentioned before about Rhonda's Quilting Creations, her big sale this weekend. Well, I'm making about 100 of these to give away down there. Actually, I'm going to give these to Rhonda, and she can decide how she wants to distribute them. And I told her I was going to do this, and she will. My idea is that at her checkout, each person who buys something, they give them one of these. Now, yes, I am promoting myself because my business card is attached to it as well. But I'm pretty sure Rhonda won't have a problem with that at all. So yeah, so I haven't got them all made yet. I have all the parts. I still need to make some more of those chains as well. And that's where I have all 5 printers going because I can make 4 on each printer, so I can make 20 at a time. And today I need to make about, I think, 40 more and then assemble them all and they'll be done. So I consider that a practical print. Okay. All right. Anything else? No, I guess not. With that, so that takes me to an old video clip from Stephen and Walter Live, and this one we talked about cooking a Sunday roast. So it's Sunday night, and we're having dinner. We're having a traditional Sunday night dinner, roast beef, or roast beast, as I like to call it. So Dorothy's here. Hi, Dorothy. How are you? And as you can see, I'm also into the wine a little bit. So he's working back there madly doing whatever he does to a roast. I don't know. He cooks roasts in a very different way than I do. That's good, Dorothy, to hear.
I do it the right way.
Oh, yeah, he does it the right way. Yeah, the Dutch way. I don't know. Okay, you tell me, people. This is how I would do a roast. Well, it's how I did a roast before I met him. You take your roast, you put it in your roasting pan, you put a little water in the bottom,
You're boiling it.
You put a little water, you're not submerging it, and then you add a little bit of stuff on the top of your roast, a little tomato sauce or ketchup, that kind of thing, some pepper, some salt, maybe a little
oregano or something, and cook it. He doesn't do it that way. He gets the oven preheated.
Well, I'm not doing it that way today.
Oh, so you're switching it.
I'm taking a shortcut.
Oh, a shortcut. And what's that? Usually what he does is he puts some butter in the bottom of the pan first, puts it in the oven so the butter melts and starts to get when it starts to get a little brown, takes it out, puts his roast in that, and then he seasons it, puts his stuff on it, and away it goes. Actually, it usually works out.
It's so that you can get darker gravy.
Oh, it was so you can get darker gravy. Well, if you burn it, it'll get dark. So what are you doing different today, Walter?
Well, I'm not letting the butter melt first because I'm in a rush.
Why are you in a rush?
I don't want to wait 5 hours to wait till the butter melts. So
Okay.
I have to.
So he's doing it different. Whatever. He's cooking it. I'm not, so it'll be fine. Hi, Sadiq. And Dorothy says, I put a little water in the bottom. It tenderizes the beef. Okay. And Chuck is here. Hi, Chuck. Chuck, I don't think you've ever made it to one of our live ones, have you? Everything is better with butter, he says. Julia Childs would be proud of Walter. Oh, it's Julia Childs. Oh, put a little wine in and oh, she's dead. Died from her own food. Oh, there's a message that was written, but it's been hidden. Let's see.
Okay, back.
So DQ. So DQ. That's how I say it, right? So DQ. Emphasis on the Sue. Is it Sue or is it so?
We're getting some sort of a weird
What? A weird what? I don't know.
reflection.
Where are you seeing the reflection? Maybe it's off your head. I don't know. So it's Sue, right? Okay, as in like if I was to write it SUE, as in the name Sue. That's how I say it. It's not so. It's Sue, right? Trying to get this right. It's a family nickname. Oh, okay. And Linda, hi Linda. She says, I put water as well with mine. And okay, so we've got.
See, I don't add water until it begins to look like it's going to dry out. So.
Oh, okay. Well, whatever. Everybody has their own way, but actually, I seldom ever cook a roast anymore because
I do it the right way.
Because yeah, okay. Enough said. But what I do make, people, and I'm going to show these to you, and those of you that are from.
I don't make these.
If those of you that from he can't make these.
I haven't tried.
Oh, bull roar! It's my secret ingredient. I made Yorkshire puddings, and I make huge Yorkshire puddings, and they come out perfect every time. And if I told you how I make them, I'd have to kill you. Actually, that's not true. It is such a basic recipe. Any of you that are English know how to make Yorkshire puddings. I mean, that's traditional food with roast beef. And being Canadian, well, we like our Yorkshire pudding too. Those of us that come from an English background. And
yeah, I never had Yorkshire pudding till I met him.
Well, my mother used to make it. And this is the ironic part. I have my mother's recipe. And my mother doesn't make them anymore. Well, she doesn't cook anything anymore. And she was over one time for dinner. We had a roast and we had Yorkshire pudding. And she says, oh, your Yorkshire always turn out so great. Mine never do. What's your secret? And I said, your recipe. It was my mother's recipe. It's very basic. I double the recipe to get ones that size because I've got big muffin tins and I like them that size. Because if there's any left over, you can do a stuffed Yorkshire as well. Again, people from England would know what I'm talking about when I say stuffed Yorkshire.
Stuff your Yorkshire.
Oh, stuff your Yorkshire. Oh, stuff it off. It's going to be that kind of day, is it? So all it is 2 cups of flour, 2 eggs, 2 cups of milk. I use skim milk, actually. Because that's all we ever usually have in the house. And, a little bit, maybe half a teaspoon, I just freehand it, salt. You put it in a blender, but first of all, you put the eggs in and then you blend the crap out of the eggs so they get real frothy. Then you put in 1 cup of the flour, 1 cup of the milk and your salt and mix the crap out of that in your blender. Meanwhile, you've got your muffin tin. I spray the muffin tins with Pam first, but then I put a little bit of oil. I usually use olive oil because that's usually what we have, but it doesn't matter what kind of oil. I put a little bit into the bottom of the muffin tin so it just covers the surface of it. I jack the heat up in the stove, in the oven, to 425 degrees Fahrenheit, and I leave put that muffin tin with the oil into the oven, and I let it sit in there for anywhere from 10 to about 12 minutes until it just starts to smoke. The oil starts to smoke. Meanwhile, I've added the rest of the milk, the rest of the flour, and everything, mixed it up well. Pull out the heated muffin tins, pour it in, put them in for about half an hour. Bingo, presto, work every time. So now you have the secret, and I have to kill you all. Okay, simple as that. Sudiku says, I brown my roast, then I braise it in beef broth. I've never.
That's if you braise it. So that might be a tough roast because the roast we have in there is a sirloin tip, which is a fairly tender roast.
But it'd probably be a good idea if you've got a little tougher piece of meat to do it that way.
Yeah. Well, if I braise something, I'll do it in liquid. Yeah.
Well, what does braising mean?
Braising means cooking like a long time. It's just like when you make
Like
beef
slow
stew.
cooking. Yeah.
Slow cooking, so that the meat is tender and falls apart. You know, like when you make
yeah, okay.
Stews.
I don't know. Every time I hear braising, for some reason I think broiling.
Yeah, I always thought it sounded like
or searing.
I thought it sort of sounded like searing, but no, braising is actually cooking it a long time so it's tender.
Yeah. Chuck says use coconut oil, no smoke and a wee bit of flavor. But Chuck, that's how I know my oil is ready, when it smokes with it. Although coconut oil, I don't know, would coconut oil give it? It would give it kind of a coconutty taste, though, wouldn't it? Or does it? I don't know. I've never really cooked with coconut.
I'm not fond of coconut, period. So
yeah. But anyway, everybody's got their own secret to it, and if it works for you, it works for you, and this works for us.
So, events in the past week. Well, we got home, so that's obvious. Yep. And as I mentioned, trying to get back into the swing of things, but nothing else major this week, last week. But what's coming up? Well, I'm entering a quilt into the Brooklyn Spring Fair. Brooklyn is a little town just north of us by minutes, literally minutes. And so I'm taking the plunge. I've never done this before, and I'm entering a quilt. I don't expect to win anything, but I'm breaking the ice here by, okay, go for it and see. So I have to deliver that Wednesday to the fair people. So we'll see what happens then. This is going to be a very quick turnaround because the fair is this coming weekend. I think we're going to go to it on Friday. In all the years I've lived in this area, which has been most of my life, I have never once been to the Brooklyn Spring Fair. It happens every year on the first weekend in June, and I've never been. Yeah. So this will be a first on two levels. Quilt in a competition and the fair. Of course, I've already talked about Rhonda's big sale. So let's talk about pop-up sew days. I have two planned. First one will be on Saturday, June the 21st. There'll be stuff coming out the week before that, the links and everything like that. So that's coming. Put that in your calendar if you're interested. And then we'll have my annual Stephen's Birthday Bash pop-up sew day, which is going to be on July the 12th. Now that one's a special one because it is my birthday month. My birthday's actually July the 14th, but that falls during the week. I want this on a Saturday, so July 12th is when it will be. All day thing. What makes this pop up a little bit different, besides the fact that it is my birthday, is I'm giving prizes because, after all, birthdays are about gifts. And so I'm going to have prizes for you if you're there. I'll be talking more about that when we get closer to the date, but this is just an advance notice that I will have that on July the 12th. And so the other pop-up sew day, which is a regular pop-up sew day, will be on Saturday, June the 21st. And of course, this week, not this week, but following week, I believe, is 2 weeks, is the Canadian Quilt Show. And we have tickets for it. We're only going for one day. We're going on the 19th of June to that. So I expect to do a little bit of shopping and seeing beautiful creations and all of that. If you are a Canadian and you happen to be planning to go to the Canadian Quilt Show, if you see Walter and I at the show on the 19th, please say hello. We would be more than happy to meet you. And Then, of course, at the end of July, we are off to London, England, our next vacation. But this one we're going because, well, first of all, we love London. And second of all, we've timed it so that we can go to the Birmingham Quilt Show, which is a big affair. So we have our tickets for it already. We have our train tickets for that because we will be traveling by train. Yep, everything's in place for that. That's going to be exciting. Looking forward to that too. So yeah, I said earlier about feeling a little overwhelmed. It's a busy year. Busy year. So anyways, I hope you're not feeling overwhelmed this week. I hope you have a good week, no matter what you're up to. And I hope you have some time for yourselves to do something that you love, just for you. Yeah. So we'll see you later. Bye for now.